My name is Zach Koerber. I'm the co-founder at Contracts Connected, and today I'm going to be touring you guys through redlines. So redlines is something we've been working on for a really long time with a lot of user input, and I'm going to basically show you how we have an end-to-end system that not only generates the full contract package, but will also then take you straight into the redline negotiation. So what I have here is basically a contract that I've already gone through the stages of setting up the project, setting up the scope, the schedule of values, the inclusions, exclusions, and I now have my contract package here. So this is for drywall. I have the rest of the documents I'm going to be asking the sub to complete as part of this contract package. But to generate all of these documents and to fully fill them out, all I have to do is hit send package here. And then the system's automatically going to generate them, put them in an email, put them in the vendor's inbox, put them on my tracker, and then it's going to remind the vendor every Monday and Wednesday morning that you still have documents you either need to sign or you need to submit to me. So once this is sent, I'm going to now go into the subcontractor's portal, and we're going to see how we can review a contract and then submit some changes or redline requests. Okay, so I logged into my subcontractor portal and I saw that I had a contract that I needed to sign. So I'm going to click on review and sign. And here you'll see that it pops up the contract the way that it was generated. You can see that it was automatically filled out by the system, and I have my signing options here. Now, if there's something as a vendor that I don't agree with in this contract, instead of emailing back and forth about the red lines that I want to request, I can simply click request changes, and the system's going to educate me on how to submit these changes. So you're about to begin the redlining process. We're basically going to edit the document just like we would a Word document. We're going to add why we want certain red lines or changes, and then we're going to submit it back to the prime contractor for them to review and approve or reject our red lines. So I'm going to click on Start Redlining, and this is going to pull up the contract now in a way that I can just edit the document, delete, replace, or add content. Then I can review them, and finally I can submit them to the prime. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to make a couple of changes. So let's say I don't agree with this. I'm going to delete this, and you can see it'll create this red line here. I'm also going to come down here and say, scope of work. I'm going to say free coffee every day of the week while we are on site. We will not need to submit more docs outside of this. Okay, so I have put in a few different red lines here. I have deleted text, inserted text, and replaced text. This particular prime contractor has configured the setting where I am required as the vendor to submit a reason, because 1, 2, 3, oops. And I'll do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then here is why. All right. So at this point, I can either save this draft as the vendor and come back to it, or I can submit the red lines. Once I click submit red lines, it'll say you're about to submit your red lines to the prime contractor. Prime contractor will review each request, approve, reject, or revise it, and you'll be notified once it's complete. So I'm going to click submit here, and the system is now basically wrapping all this up into one document, and then you'll see your red lines have been submitted. They're currently under review. You'll be notified when the review concludes as the vendor. And once complete, you can either add more red lines doing a second round of revisions, or you can just sign the agreement if you are happy with it. So at this point, I'm going to pause my screen share. I'm going to log back into my prime contractor account, and we're going to see how we can review these red lines. Okay, here we are in the prime contractor account. You can see in my to-dos here, I have the drywall contract here pending red lines review. So let's take a look at it. That's from my dashboard. And now below, I can see all of the details about the red lines that have been submitted. But up here, you can see the summary. None have been rejected or approved. There's 3 pending that have been submitted that you saw me submit on the prior screen. So as the prime contractor, if I have the proper permissions, I can click on review red lines, and I can see those red lines that the vendor has submitted here. If I want to be taken straight to where that red line is, I can simply click on this box here where it says inserted text, and the editor will take me straight to where this red line is. So if I click on it, it'll highlight it for me as well, and then I can reject, revise, or accept it. So I'm going to start at the top here, and then I'm going to say, I'm okay. They don't need to agree to this. Let's accept this. So I'm going to accept this one. And again, this particular prime contractor has requested that any revisions that are approved have to have a reason behind them. So when we come back to look at this document a year from now, we understand why we said certain red lines were okay. So I'll say approved by Zach. Confirm. So once I approve this, it's no longer pending. It'll show in my all section here, but this is just showing the ones that I need to take action on still. And you'll notice that it kept this red line right here. The next piece here is I have a pretty long red line here. They deleted an entire paragraph and said they don't need to submit docs. Now I'm going to say I'm going to reject this one. I want them to actually follow the rules around 2.3. So I'll hit reject. I'll say this is a no-go from us. Confirm rejection. And you'll see that the document reverted to its original state. The red line is gone, and the document now looks like it had previously. And then this last one here, I might revise this. So instead of every day of the week, I might say every Monday of the week while workers are on site, apply it. And you can see that I've adjusted this red line and revised it here. At this point in time, I don't have any more red lines to review. And I can actually come up and I can chat with my team if I need to. And in this team chat, I can tag people, and I can also use hashtags to reference the specific red lines that I want to talk about. And this will become clickable via this little piece here. Will take you straight to that red line in which you can come chat about it or reference it in your team chat. But let's say I'm done. I have all my red lines here. I can see my decisions, whether I've replaced text, approved text, or rejected text. And I'm going to click Finalize here. And what Finalize will do is it'll generate this agreement again with these new red lines. And here you'll see feedback around all of those for the reasons why we either accepted or rejected them is going to be communicated. Initials will now be required for both parties on pages with red lines. So if there is an approved red line on a page, there will be a new initial field in the columns of both sides of the pages. All approved red lines have been incorporated into the new agreement. And then now it is pending counterparty signature, meaning, hey, it's back in the subs court to do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause the screen. I'm going to go back into the vendor's account or the subcontractor's account, and we're going to see what these red lines look like on their end once we communicate this back. Okay, here we are. And keep in mind, along this entire process, email communications and email notifications are being sent to both parties. So the vendor is getting notifications when red lines conclude in terms of a review round. And from a prime contractor perspective, you are getting notifications when red lines are submitted or documents are signed. And all of that is happening automatically in the background. And you can see this entire red line process is all within an enclosed environment. There's no downloading and email threads and stuff like that. So here we can see kind of the decisions here if they would like to take a look. So we have 2 rejected, 2 approved, and I can review and sign to take a closer look at this if I would like. So here is the feedback from the prime contractor. Here was the reason from the subcontractor. And you can click into any of these if you want to be taken straight to where that red line occurred. Now, let's say I want to say, I want to submit more red lines. I could click this and it will restart that process again, keeping the existing approved red lines in the document so they can just add, right? Now, let's say that I review all these and I'm saying, this looks fair. I'm happy with what they've accepted and I'm okay with what they've rejected. I can now click accept and sign, and that will then generate the final PDF in which on pages with red lines, there will be initial fields that are needed from both the vendor and the prime contractor. And I can just go through and simply sign my agreement. Here. And I can work through this document We have a signature at the bottom of every page, and then a final signature on the last page. And once that is done, I would be able to complete my agreement. We do a verification code, and in this verification code, you basically verify you are who you say you are. You would have to prove that this email and this verification code was obtained by somebody else to basically say that this wasn't you that e-signed this, providing extra layer of security around your e-signatures. And I'm going to pause this, throw this verification code in here. I'm going to click agree. I'm going to click sign and submit. Okay, I hit sign and submit, and now I can see the agreement here with my signatures placed on the different pages that I've signed. It is still waiting for the buyer signature, which is the prime contractor. I have a full history here. And this record of red lines, what happened, who requested what, who approved what was the reasoning behind each one of these approvals, rejections, or even requests, are always going to be living here. And they're visible for both the vendor and the prime contractor that issued this document. So if you guys are still managing red lines in your emails via downloading documents or submitting things over Bluebeam or even Adobe, check this out. We would love to show this to you live. Feel free to book in a demo, contractsconnected.com, and we will get you guys inside here and show you a better way to do red lines in the construction industry. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.